Apollo Tyres came out with its numbers. It's been a bit of a miss, especially on margins. Operationally, Apollo Tyres has performed slightly below what we expected. In fact, in terms of its EBITDA margins, we expected somewhere around a 13.4% margin, but it's come up with just about 12.9. So about a 50 basis point miss in terms of margins, and the markets did not expect how much the staff costs would go up. And staff costs actually went up by 12%, and this was not factored in by most analysts. Surjit Arora of Prabhudas Lilladher, he tracks the auto sector and as well as tyre companies. Surjit, we had you last time when other tyre companies were coming out with their numbers. Apollo Tyres, another clear miss. So is the best behind in this tyre space?
Yes, as I mentioned last time also during C8 conversation, I had said that the best times are over for these companies, and incrementally with now capex starting for all the companies and everyone going into capex mode, overall free cash generation by these companies will be negative for a couple of years going forward. So yes, from Apollo Tyres point of view also, if you look at the numbers, as you rightly pointed out, the numbers were slightly below our estimate also, and in terms of absolute terms, the EBITDA came in around 4-5% below estimate. But one more reason why Apollo Tyres would not do that great going forward is they have outlined a major capex in Europe to a tune of 400 million euros. At the same time, they also have a capex in India, which is their Chennai facility, where their utilization continues to be at 90% plus. They have entailed a capex of almost 15 billion Indian rupees. So in totality, if you look at next 2 years, they are entailing a capex including Europe to a tune of 34 to 35 billion Indian rupees. So given that capex will be quite high and earnings growth will be muted, my sense is next 2 years the earnings growth could be around 8 to 10% CAGR. So that will not take care of the overall capex funding, and hence they will require some additional debt, and they might also look at raising some equity in the near future.
So do you think that approximately about 600-700 crores per year is broadly the depreciation, right? That they'll have to undergo for the additional depreciation. If they, what is the total amount of capex you mentioned?
See, next 2 years, if you include Europe operations also, the total capex will be around 34 to 35 billion Indian rupees.
Okay.
So one is, as you said, depreciation will go up, but not to that extent the amount you mentioned by you. Yes, and second thing is they also had enabling resolution from the board of directors for raising some equity capital. So at a later date, let's say next 6 months or so, you might see the company coming up with some 6-7% kind of dilution to raise some equity funds also. There is a possibility. As of now, they have not announced, but they have taken a resolution from the board. Yes.
But is there any logic for this capex, except for the, obviously you were saying that it's working at very high utilization, the Chennai plant, but other than that, is there any logic? Do you see that kind of demand grow?
See, the thing is, Europe is doing well for them in terms of winter tires and all, and already in Europe also their capacity utilization is at peak at some 85-90%. So now they are coming up with a greenfield capacity in Eastern Europe where they are not present, and it's a big huge capacity. See, end of the day, operationally it will start impacting the top line in terms of revenues from only FY17 end. So it's like still 2.5 years away. But for that, they need to start capex. I mean, compared to 500 million they guided for 4 years, first 2 years they will spend some 200 million euros, which is almost 16 billion rupees. So this is in addition to your Indian Chennai plant, where they will be spending 15 billion over next 2 years. So earlier, where the issue was free cash flow generation, improving return ratios, now with this kind of huge capex and with muted earnings, because as I said last time when we interacted, the earnings growth for tire companies will be muted going forward. So if that is true, then obviously they will require some debt funding and some equity funding to take care of the capex.
And what is the amount of free cash flow the company currently has? And what are you projecting?
That I don't have.
Okay,
I think this year they have generated some free cash, but next 2 years, in my view, they will generate some 400 to 500 crores negative free cash every year.
And what is your view in terms of rubber commodity prices? Have they bottomed out? Because they've really been going down.
See, frankly, if you look at the global supply in major producing nations, that is improving substantially. Whereas on the demand side, still India is soft, China is soft. So if you look at the demand supply situation, it is in favor of rubber further going down, because at the end of the day, your supply is improving commensurate to what the demand is doing. Demand is quite flattish, where supply is improving big time. So at least for next 2 to 3 quarters, that's the reason why we still have a accumulate trading on the stock, is basically because rubber prices are still very, very muted. However, given the capex and all, will more be a neutral kind of a thing on Apollo rather than having a buy on that. So last quarter, we are downgraded from buy to accumulate on Apollo, and currently, because we don't have a hold rating, we would keep it accumulate, but ideally we are communicating to clients that it's more of a 8-10% kind of upside. You will not see a meaningful upside happening in Apollo in next 6 to 8 months.
And in terms of, we saw this with CEAT as well and Apollo as well. Employee cost, wage cost seems to have gone up quite sharply. Is that because of growing competition within the space? Are companies having to, are they being forced to raise salaries to retain talent?
No, I don't think that is the reason. It's just that a normal phenomena is Q1, they normally give incentives and bonuses. So the provision happens in the first quarter. And second thing is, because volume growth is not there, or let's say it's muted in terms of top line, your operating leverage doesn't kick in. So your percentage of staff costs as of net sales goes up substantially in first quarter.
When it comes to, being suppliers, as in one is the replacement demand for tires, the other is to be an OEM to a Maruti or Tata Motors or any of these auto companies. If one looks at that, then the commentary that came from Maruti was that they believe that the first round of growth that they've seen now was entirely sentiment driven, and anything beyond this will have to be based on real growth. Are you confident of that real growth part of it kicking in before, let's say, Q1 of calendar year 15?
Yes, I think so, because now if you look at, as rightly pointed out by Maruti management also, the sentiments have improved on ground level. But when you interact with dealers and actually feel the pulse of the ground, then actually people are starting, looking at discretionary spend, given the hikes in salary and given that now they have certainty in terms of job market. So yes, with a lag effect, once the festive season starts, I believe this time compared to last 2-3 years, we will see some respite in terms of actual sales picking up and actual retail volumes being quite high for all these companies.
So do you expect that overall average realizations for tire companies will be going up along with volumes?
No, that is not the case, because at the end of the day, your raw material per se, whether it's rubber or nylon tire cord, that has come down substantially in last 1 year. And given the competitive pressures, I think they will pass it on to the end consumer. So the ASP per vehicle, which went up last year because of robust demand and also rubber being lower and they did not take any price cut, that will not be the case going forward. Second main point is, last year exports also helped them in terms of, rupee being depreciated against USD. But that also is now out of the window. I mean, at least it is stable at 60-61. So there will not be any benefit on the rupee front also, and that will not help the exports in terms of pricing per vehicle or pricing per unit.
There one last question on exports, since that's where you've come in this discussion. We heard from some of the managements that they're now facing tough competition in some of the export markets from Chinese tires. Do you expect that to actually increase?
Yeah, frankly, compared to any other commodity, tires is much more competitive, and Chinese are very well versed with dumping of tires across the globe. So yes, if you look at the global market and given the kind of costing the Chinese manufacturers have, definitely they can dump tires at one go and impact the overall competitive environment.
Right.
So that risk remains for tire companies.
Okay, Sujit Arora, thank you so much for joining us. That's Sujit Arora from Prabhudas Lilladher, and his broad opinion is that the best is over for tire companies. They'll see growth, cost pressure is down for them, but in terms of competition, it's becoming more and more. So the growth story is more or less over. If you're buying tire companies, it's the time to accumulate, but don't expect major returns from any of these tire players. We're going to take a short break, and after that, Moses Harding, he'll be joining us.